who's for it and who's against it. But when the new dealer was going to come in on Scenic and 33, a dealer from out of Minnesota, I think Honda, they had to come to the town board because that was within our blue line. And they had we had to get agreement with the city in order for them to annex that land. And when the blue line was drawn up, that part there was part of an agreement at the time that if the city needed it, the city could take it from the town. And in return, they have to pay taxes on that land to the town for 5 years, which doesn't amount to hardly anything. But next to that land was Fleeton Farm. The land that Fleeton Farm had bought, and that was not within the blue line. That was already annexed to the city. So when Fleeton Farm came to us 3 weeks ago, and I had a meeting with them, and we talked about it, and they were very cordial and everything, but we had no say-so, but they just wanted to let us know what was going to happen with the land. Now at the time, they brought in some building, what it's going to look like, and what they did was this was right here, was supposed to be environmental corridor, and a little piece over here. And what they did was they made a much bigger environmental corridor. Now, an original plan, they wanted to, there was proposed a exit here over on Highway Z, which would be maybe 150 feet on that side of the road to get into Fleeton Farm. Fleeton Farm does not want that exit on Z. They want to use this up here. There will be a stop and go light here and an entrance over there. They do not want an entrance on Z. The county doesn't want an entrance on Z. The city doesn't want an entrance on Z. We definitely don't. The only one that wants an entrance on Z is the DOT. So as of right now, that's where it stands. We don't want it, the city doesn't want it, the county doesn't want it, the DOT wants an entrance on Z for trucks. And we don't want it, we're saying that up there, and Fleeton Farm is saying up there, they're fine with the entrances up there.
Could you show us on the map what 33 is and what Z is?
Yeah, 33 is up at the top, I believe.
33 is on the
33 is
top.
up here.
33 runs along here. They'll move in this island here, with this divisor here. And Z is over here.
Okay.
And they want to run this road, they don't, the DOT does. Wants to run a road right past this environmental corridor here, down, over, and come out here. These are for Thunderbird Heights, right over here, the subdivision. But anyhow, Fleet's been very up forward with it, and there really isn't a thing we can do for the town.
So this is the Z, 33 is at the top. Z's over here. And so this is the current plan that they have. Now, understand, there's nothing that the town of West Bend can do about this. This is not in the town of West Bend. It's in the city of West Bend because they annexed it.
How about the DNR?
I have no idea what the DNR's attitude
Well, it's
is about this.
environmentally, whatever.
No, matter of fact, they even expanded the environmental corridors.
But the access doesn't touch it.
Does not touch it, does not, none of the accesses touch environmental corridor. But the DOT wants to run another access parallel to it.
Correct.
And the city, Fleeton Farm, and we do not want them to run that. We don't want anything coming out on Z. We think everything should be over on 33.
What can we do about getting that not to happen if the DOT is pushing it?
As far as I know right now, we can't do anything. We have to wait and see how hard they push.
Z is a county road, not a town road. So we're pretty helpless.
Well, the county doesn't want it either.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, as far as any powers the town has, there's not a whole lot we've got to bargain with.
Guys, why don't we allow these annexations in the first place? How does that benefit us?
That was an act before when the blue line was going through. because Fleet and Farm already owned that. So that had nothing to do with the blue line that we had back in 2002, which expires, I think, in 2021.
So if you buy land, you can do whatever you want with it, is that how it works?
In certain areas, yeah.
By and large, the rules in the state of Wisconsin are that there's a hierarchy of municipalities' powers. You may recall a few years ago that the town of Richfield was essentially taken over by the village of Richfield. The reason for that was that Germantown and Menominee Falls were gonna start annexing parts of Colgate and Hubertus that were all in the town of West Bend.
Richfield.
And the-
Town of Richfield.
That's, town of Richfield, excuse me, pretty far away from the town of West Bend. Anyway, the state law gives the power to higher ranking municipalities to annex land from lower ranking municipalities. And we're a lower ranking municipality. So the only defense that we have is to enter into what are called boundary agreements with the municipalities that are more powerful than we are legally, and so that there's agreements in advance such that the things are settled before a dispute comes up. And in this particular case, the boundary agreement was entered into many years ago between the town of West Bend and the city of West Bend. And so essentially the agreement says that the city of West Bend can annex these pieces of property when they so choose, as long as the property owner requests that annexation be done. And so in this particular case, and in the case of the Honda dealership, further east on 33, they requested that they be annexed into the city of West Bend. It was already set forth in the boundary agreement that the owner of that property could do that, and so we really didn't have any say in it at all. The decision was made years ago. So that's the way the whole system works. So once again, the towns are at the bottom of the totem pole as far as power is concerned.
Well, it's good. We move up the hierarchy by becoming the village.
Yes.
Yes, we could, yeah.
But we'd still be one step too low, right?
Well, probably about 5.
Villages have a lot more power than towns do to fight cities, so I'm not sure exactly, Al, how that would work. But we'd certainly have a lot more authority if we were a village as opposed to a town. So it's something to think about, I guess.
You said that the lawyers from Fleet Farm came to talk to us, is that correct?
The president of Fleet Farm and the chairman of the West Bend City. Jay Shamble, yeah.
At any time did they state to you that this was a state-approved plan already? Because anything that big has to go through the state and be approved for electric, groundwater, HVAC.
See, we can't do it. That land was already Fleet and Farm land before we ever went and had this agreement. That land was virtually the city of West Bend before our agreement back in 2002 for the blue line or anything else. That land was Fleet's.
So basically our concern here tonight is coming onto our county road through that access that you're personally not wanting, or the township is not wanting, but the DOT does, and that's what is already on the plan, is that correct?
Basically, the only reason I have it on the agenda is to let everybody know what happened, that we had no say in it, what it looks like, what they're proposing, and where we stand on it. We have no say in it whatsoever, except I told them at the meeting that we were totally against the drive on C. They said the same thing. They are too. And all I'm bringing it up for is strictly to inform all the residents of what went on and what took place, so that, you know, everything's on the up and up.
Thank you.
Okay, next thing is,